not going to be a camper. We have a strategic relationship with China in our national interest for a very long time, and we should maintain that. And that relationship should grow. If somebody else is feeling disturbed because of that, because our relationship is not, in my opinion, is not directed against anybody, not even against India for that matter. China-Pakistan relationship is not directed against India. It is a perception which is being created. China-Pakistan relationship is not directed against US also. So the only balancing act is that Pakistan has to do it in its own national interest. For that, you have to be a self-confident state. Thank you so much.
The answer was in the question itself. If you had democracy, you could ask that question. You not had democracy. When you don't have democracy, you end up with people like me and Miftah. That's the problem. Have 3 fair elections and then ask that question. But the leadership you get today, the leadership you have today is not genuine leadership. You cannot create leaders. Again and again we experimented. Like I said in the beginning, how many experiments? Let's try the constitution one time. Let's see what happens. Stay with the constitution.
Okay, ji, we have one last question from here. Anybody from the back? Ji, bilkul piche. Ji. I didn't see that. Ji.
This is Mohammad Zahir. Mohammad Zahir, I work in Radio Pakistan News section. My question is for Dr. Miftah Ismail Sahab, that in present financial circumstances, stand-by agreement with the IMF is good omen for Pakistan. But to be dependent on IMF is good omen for Pakistan, or to be free from IMF will be good omen for Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you. Is it good or bad?
It's like if you're not well, you have to go to a hospital. It's never a good thing to go to the hospital, but what is the other choice? So you have to go to the hospital. Similarly, if nobody is willing to lend you money and you have to make payments and you cannot raise enough taxes and you cannot cut enough expenditures, then you have to borrow money and you have to go to the IMF. It's very simple. If we were to use these loans, we are one of the largest recipients of IMF program, one of the largest recipients in the world of the World Bank and IMF and Asian Development Bank programs. I think we owe about 50 billion to these international institutions. If we utilize this money for useful purposes, then we can make our economy more productive and increase the productive capacity of our people. But we failed to do that. And we've actually wasted sort of in a way a lot of these ADB and World Bank loans. But at this point we have no choice but to go to the IMF for the next 3 years, I think, put our house in order and then inshallah start to grow at a healthy rate of 7-8%.
Yes, Ambassador.
Assalamu alaikum. Nader Turk, Deputy Head of Mission Palestine Empathy. Thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity to speak to your honorable crew and your speakers. First, I hear one word from Brigadier that it is a failure of American to have two-state solutions. Actually, at what I see yesterday or I watched yesterday, a figure that 68% of the Americans are waiting to see ceasefire in Gaza. On the other hand, 32% are not. On the other hand, the Americans' leaders following the request of the Israelis because they see ceasefire, it is a failure for the Israelis in their war against Palestinian people. So, keeping on with more whoopings on killing Palestinian innocent and children and women is following the agenda of the Israelis. So, on the other hand, when we are involved, our leadership in peace process in 1991 in Madrid, in peace conference, the Prime Minister of Israel, Ishaq Shamir, mentioned that day that he will negotiate with the Palestinians 20 years without give him anything. We are involved in peace process in 32 years and we get nothing, which means the agenda is keep, negotiate, speak about peace. On the other hand, we get more terror, more apartheid, more settlements, more war, more killing, more Palestinians die for nothing. Nothing because we are not reaching our goal until now, but we will, inshallah, very soon. And I'm optimistic, actually. The flag of Palestine, soon or later, going to become the flag for humanity, not only for the Palestinians. Why? Because when I was speaking about international law, not appear everywhere, not in Palestine. Human rights principles appear everywhere, not in Palestine. We speak about double standards. We speak about democracy when the majority of the people of the Western countries on the street are protesting in favor of Palestine. On the other hand, their leaders blindly support the Israelis in their crimes against humanity, their crimes against the innocent people, war crimes, and they are supporting them not only by political statements, but even by whippings and bombs to kill more and more Palestinians. So when we see democracy is not working in the Western countries, it's working in Pakistan, I think so, and it's working in many of our countries, and it's working in Palestine. And we see that in 2006, when we are not satisfied that our brothers in Hamas win the elections, but our leaders facilitate them to create the 10th government and achieve their responsibilities as a government and as a leader to lead the government of Palestine. So this is first. Second, I have a question for Dr. Muftah. It is thanks a lot for the figures which you are sharing with us, but it is share with us the problem. Where is the solution? Many of the Muslim countries deal with a huge number of population as a challenge. Why it is in China blessing? Thank you very much for your time. One day soon, inshallah, we will have the opportunity to pray in Aqsa Masjid, hand by hand, to raise together the flag of Palestine, a flag of humanity, a flag of freedom, as a freedom fighters, as a freedom for peace and stability, not only in Palestine, but in the whole world. Thank you very much. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question and comment. I want to say that a few days ago I saw a picture of a Palestinian woman holding an infant in her hand, a dead infant in her hand, and was kissing. She was just kissing him. And that picture is resounding, and that picture just recurs to me all the time. You cannot unsee that picture of a woman holding a dead infant in her hand. And what's happening in Palestine is tragic beyond words. And so the sympathies of the entire Pakistani nation, I think, and the rest of the world are really with you. And hopefully one day, inshallah, you guys will be free. And there is no point in colonialism anymore. And I think even in the opinion in the West, as you said, now has really shifted. So hopefully something good will come out of this tragic situation, this genocide of your people, the ethnic cleansing of Palestinian people in your own lands. As far as the question is concerned, I think the solution, I actually sort of hinted at the solution, which is that we have to raise taxes and we have to devolve the government and we have to make government more effective. There are no good solutions. You know, raising taxes is never a good thing. I mean, as finance minister, I have been, it's very difficult to do. There's a lot of lobbies. There are a lot of people who get, it's not easy for, you know, a poor country like Pakistan to collect a lot of taxes. This year we'll collect 10,000 billion rupees in taxes, but still not enough. But the real solution really is to collect more taxes, to cut some expenditures and to live within our means. That's what Pakistan needs to do. I think that's every country needs to do that. Thank you.
We'll take the final question from Dr. Saab.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate giving me an opportunity. My question is to Shahid Khaqan Abbasi sir. You have been consistently arguing over last year or so in a series of reimagining Pakistan seminars that all the political parties in Pakistan over last 5 to 10 years had an opportunity to govern, and no party has been able to deliver. And you have been extending this logic to say that actually it is not possible for any political party to deliver the complexity of the problems that we have landed in. And you have been saying that we need to develop a national framework by bringing all the political actors and all the stakeholders around the table to develop a framework which transcends all elections and all political parties so that it can be stuck to and can be pursued in years to come. So my question is that what progress is there, if any, in your view on this account? And second logical extension of my question is that don't you think that the existing political parties who are promoting democracy are highly undemocratic themselves? So how they can speak for democracy and how they can deliver democracy? And don't you think that we need a new political party in Pakistan which is internally democratic also?
It's a very vast question, but the bottom line is that we have been saying this at all these forums, is that we need to all the stakeholders in this country have to sit at a table and chart a way forward. There's no other way. We have to be aware and of what our political situation is, who are the stakeholders. So the political leaders, the military leadership and the judicial leadership have to sit at a table and chart a way forward. The political parties have all been in power in the last 2 years. Have they delivered anything? No. So, and why not? Because they don't have the capacity. You look at the manifestos, have they implemented the manifestos? No. All the manifestos are the same. So what will you expect in the future? The same thing that has happened in the past. You can't, there was space in the past. You muddled through, now it's the end of the road. Now you have to find solutions. And the solutions have become tough, and they'll get tougher by the day. So there is no bar in the Constitution for this leadership of the political leadership, military and judicial to sit together and chart a way forward. Because all influence governance in this country, all influence the future of the people of Pakistan. So they need to sit together. There is always space for a political party, especially when you have a failure of the extent that we have today in Pakistan. But again, it's not easy to form a political party, but I think there is always space, and today there's probably more space than before, because every political party has failed. Why is the capacity not there in the political parties? Because you did not have democracy. You did not have fair elections. The people who should have been there and the people who can deliver today must have 3 attributes. They must have an education, not a degree. They must have life experience, and they must go through the political mill. You cannot have a BA and have done nothing in life, win an election and want to be a minister the next day. That doesn't work anymore. So this is why you need the political system to grow. It has not grown. It has not been allowed to grow. Political parties, are they internally democratic? I would venture to say I don't know of any political party in the world which is internally democratic. Just like corporations are not internally democratic, when you take a decision, you don't get a vote. Votes are divisive. So whenever you have a vote within a party, it's a divisive situation. You don't want that. It's always by consensus. And the consensus has its own issues. That's my basic answer on that. It doesn't look like a very democratic answer, but that's the reality of life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know there are a lot of hands being raised, but we are absolutely out of time. In fact, we are over time. So I would like to thank all the speakers today for sharing their thoughts with us. I would like to thank the organizers and above all of you who came here and took part in this very valuable discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.